with Charlotte Hawkins.
Good morning. Two men have been convicted of the murder of a British honeymoon couple in Antigua. Caniel Martin and Avi Howell shot Ben and Catherine Mullaney in their hotel chalet in 2008, stealing their mobile phones, camera and cash. The pair went on to kill a local woman 2 weeks later. Hannah Thomas-Peter has this report. And there's lots more background information to that case on our website. All the details for you at skynews.com. Hundreds of thousands of public sector workers are finding out today how much more they'll have to pay into their pension pots. Ministers will reveal the precise details later, but there are already reports that some might have to find an extra £3,000 a year to secure their retirement schemes. Sky's political correspondent...
Well, public sector workers already know that they're going to have to work.
Sophy in Westminster, thank you. Sky News has obtained new amateur footage showing the immediate aftermath of the bomb that struck Oslo last Friday. The video shows the debris inside one of the government buildings next to the... Centrica, the owner of British Gas, has unveiled half-year profits of £1.3 billion just a couple of weeks after hiking up. MPs say the government is reportedly paying up to 10 times more for IT projects than the standard commercial. The acting head of Scotland Yard will be quizzed later about the phone hacking scandal at a Metropolitan Police Authority meeting. The first B-Sky B board meeting since News Corporation decided to pull out of its takeover deal is due to take place this afternoon in London. The hotel maid who's accused Dominique Strauss-Kahn of attempting to rape her has met prosecutors. A tropical storm in the Philippines has killed at least 31 people. China says the rail crash that killed 39 people last week was caused by design flaws in signal equipment. The government is due to publish new plans outlining a tougher approach to tackling organised crime, while at the same time reducing the cost to the taxpayer. It comes as new figures show more than £1 billion worth of cash and goods were seized from criminals in the UK last year. Lisa Dowd has the details. This is Sky News. Coming up next in sport, we'll have... Welcome back. Time to take a look at all the day's sports news now, and Sarah's here. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Good morning to you. Manchester City are expected to confirm they've broken their transfer record to sign Argentina striker Sergio Aguero. He arrived in mid-January. And meanwhile, Manchester United forward Javier Hernandez will be out for a fortnight. That's after... Now, Chelsea have lodged an official complaint after one of their players was racially abused by fans in Malaysia. Now, golf's new Open champion Darren Clarke returns to action later. He's playing at the Irish... Get their muscles working. Nice.
Great. Sarah, thanks very much for that. News, lots more for you on our Sky News, the headlines. Two men concerning the pension situation, and hundreds of thousands of public sector workers due to find out later today how much extra they'll have to pay into their pensions. We've had a reaction from one of the unions, Unison, just a short time ago, and the Unison General Secretary Dave Prentice has said that the government ministers have put public sector pension talks in jeopardy by their naive tactics and apparent lack of negotiating skills. He's calling them to abandon playground games and get serious. One of his quotes is, "We entered into the scheme specific talks on public sector pensions in good faith. We genuinely believe we're making progress, but these talks are put in jeopardy by the crude and naive tactics of government ministers who don't seem to understand the word negotiate." He says it's unhelpful to the progress of these talks to release their bargaining position as though it is set in stone. He says if it is set in stone, there is no point in us having a single further meeting. And another quote that he says concerning the ongoing talks, and he says the union argues making people pay more, work longer for a smaller pension is unnecessary, unjust and unworkable, and he warns that people will leave the schemes if they become too expensive and they collapse. So that's in the last few minutes a reaction from one of the unions, Unison, to the news that hundreds of thousands of public sector workers will be finding out today just how much extra they have to pay for their pensions. But we'll have plenty more reaction to that story as the day progresses. Well, let's get more on our top story now. The situation from Antigua and the two men convicted of murdering the British honeymooners Ben and Catherine Mullaney. Hannah Thomas-Peter has more details. From Greater Manchester Police, they've just announced they're investigating a burglary at the home of a serving officer in which a memory stick was stolen. The burglary happened in the Oldham area back on the 17th of July. Now, the memory stick contained information about Greater Manchester Police operations. The force say they're taking the loss of data very seriously, and a dedicated team of officers is working to identify the burglars and also recover the memory stick. Police appealing to anyone who finds this memory stick, it's described as red or orange, to call police immediately or hand it into the local police station. And they say that they want to make it clear any suggestion this memory stick contained lists of names of people who tipped off police is inaccurate. They say we know what is on the device because